I think that's why we work so well together, because if you had two people with the same skill sets, why do you need each other? We have opposite skill sets. I think that's why we work.
Rajan Chida, a University of Virginia graduate, entrepreneur, and co-founder of Royal Oak Retreat.
I can't believe 1 million people watch this video. Like, my parents don't support me, like they believe in me. And there's a huge difference.
Okay, so you don't think that's a big deal? That's
my dad takes a lot of pride in it for some reason.
It speaks to your character.
Yeah.
Like, I see that so much now.
Started selling stuff around the house first that we didn't need. I think there's a stat, like every household on average has like $3,000 to $5,000 worth of stuff that you don't even use.
We're definitely not making as much as we're going to be making working a corporate 9 to 5. When you lower your expectations to like, okay, this is a long game and a lot of people aren't willing to play the long game, that's when you start to see those benefits later on down the road.
I find someone who's done what I want to do and they just kind of like guide me through the whole process. And a lot of people ask me like, did you guys find this off market? Was this like an under the table deal? Like, this land was on Zillow for over 200 days. No one saw any potential in it. And Renzo looked at it and he was like, we can make something happen here. I saw a Gary Vee video where he said you could go to garage sales and thrift stores and start flipping stuff on eBay. So I started doing that in high school when I was 17.
What gets you out of bed in the morning?
That's a great question.
This week, we have a special guest joining us. His name is Rajan Chida, a University of Virginia graduate, entrepreneur, and co-founder of Royal Oak Retreat, a luxury cabin experience in Virginia. Rajan's path is anything but traditional. This is not something typical for an Indian man to do. He turned down a job offer from the one and only Holy Grail JPMorgan, built his own shoe-selling business throughout college, and developed a deep understanding of business operations along the way. And now, instead of following the 9 to 5, he is building a big business. In this episode, we're going to be diving into Rajan's life. We're going to be going into some cultural expectations, and we're going to see what he's building out here in the middle of the woods. Let's get into this Half Past crew. Welcome to
Half Past John.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Chai. This one's a little bit different. We're outside. We're doing this out in the wild. Hallie and I are in the wild. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
If you can't already tell, we're an interracial married couple. I am Indian.
I'm super white.
Super duper. And we talk about being an interracial couple, relationships, and everything else in the world. We also get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastchai.com where you submit your own questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every single Monday at 7 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you got to give us 5 stars and follow the pod because when we post at 7 a.m., you'll get notified. So, Half Past crew, thank you for spending another Monday with us. Settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha.
This is the first time we've not had...
Unfortunately, we do not have cha today. Rajan,
That's okay, because we're in the woods.
Thank you for being on the Half Past Shy podcast.
Thank you guys for coming out all the way to Virginia to see this.
Bro, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. When we drove here, we had to like go through a treacherous road. I was like, it's not gonna be that bad. I mean, it's just like a mountain. We'll just go up and on a road. I thought I was gonna die.
No, it was so fun. It was so beautiful out here.
It was. It's very hilly. It's like loopy. It is kind of treacherous, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
but it's
I love
a
it.
drive. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I really can't believe we're here after seeing this on social media for so long, looking at this, and it's just in front of me. I almost can't believe it's real. And you're so close to being done with it too.
Yeah, no, it truly is beautiful. Like, it's changed so much in the last 2 to 3 weeks where like it's almost even new to me.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to just watch it happen.
I feel like whenever you started this whole process, I don't think you understood what you were doing until just now because of the social media aspects of things. Before we like get into all that, I want to know who you are, what you're doing, explain, like give your 1 minute spiel.
1 minute spiel. Okay, I'm Rajan. I recently just graduated from the University of Virginia. I'd start with, I grew up like just doing my own thing, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I played tennis and basketball in high school. And then I came across a Gary Vee video one day. My senior year was all online. So I was super bored and I wasn't on the basketball team at this point. And I saw a Gary Vee video where he said you could go to garage sales and thrift stores and start flipping stuff on eBay. So I started doing that in high school when I was 17. And I did it all through college. So for 5 years, I ended up selling shoes. That's what I focused on. And that was basically like a big part of my life for 5 years. Stacked a good amount of money. I bought an investment property on my 21st birthday. And as you said in the intro, I guess not traditional 9 to 5 stuff, but we're having fun out here. My partner Renzo from Virginia Tech, we reconnected in Austin, Texas, last summer when I was doing an internship in Dallas, and he brought me the potential to do this land deal where we could build luxury cabin Airbnbs. At the time, it was such a niche concept. I had no idea what he was talking about. But we ended up, while I was a senior in college, we got this land under contract in November of 2024, officially closed January 2025. And now, right now, when we're recording, it's September 2025, and we're about to be done, which is crazy.
Dude.
So like, was this land even like close to what it looks like and what it now?
No, so this was it was a bunch of dead trees. It was a bunch of dead logs. We came here in the winter, so no greenery. It was so dead. And a lot of people ask me, like, did you guys find this off market? Was this like a under the table deal? Like, this land was on Zillow for over 200 days. No one saw any potential in it. And Renzo looked at it and he was like, we can make something happen here. And at the time, I was new to development. So when he pitched me the idea, all I had was money and no construction experience. So I was kind of just leaning on him to really give me this vision, which I didn't fully have yet, even though he's explaining it to me. But slowly but surely, look what it is now. It's truly crazy, like how much it's changed. And really, like, I think it goes to show that you don't need much to work with. Not just talking about land. I'm just talking about in general. Like, you don't need much to work with. You can find ways to get financing, like all this stuff.
That's the first question I had for you when we met. So we actually got to stay with Rajan overnight. It was great. It was
I'm
great.
so glad we did.
We got to meet his parents, his brother. It was a fantastic experience. I got to understand the breadcrumbs. Now, this is an inside joke.
Oh my God.
We saw okay, I know you were questioning where are the breadcrumbs, but I saw them the whole time.
Oh, I did.
The drive that you have, the grit, it's all there.
So Rajan's dad explained to us how he got here. So there was these breadcrumbs that he was leaving behind throughout his life. And what I've noticed from you is that you kind of have started this process so early on, from being competitive in basketball, being competitive in tennis, and then being like, I'm not going to just be like everyone else. I can see that.
Wait, can we, this is one thing we talked about last night, but you said you were like a champion, like a tennis champion. You were 12 years old. What was that again?
No. My dad is hyping it. I was like, I was USTA ranked top 50 when I was 12.
Okay,
was 10 years
so
ago.
you don't think that's a big deal?
My dad takes a lot of pride in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it speaks to your character.
Yeah.
Like, I see that so much now, especially because we've spent the last however many hours with you and stayed at your house and met your family and everything, but especially hearing about your drive and what you've been interested in, so competitive in for years, even as a child, and then coming into your shoe business and hustling and grinding to make money, really to like pay for college and to, fund now this, which is crazy. And that gave you so much experience. And the fact, can we just go back? You said you bought your first investment property at 21. Like, you're so young. You're really not that young, but to me, you're young.
You're very old. How old are you right now?
I'm 22.
So you bought an investment property and then you bought land on top of that, like right after. And so I guess my biggest thing is whenever people hear those kinds of stories, they think it's impossible, right? I had the question of, okay, how do you even find this? Let's say somebody out there has $30,000 in their bank account. A lot of them would go ahead and take the 30,000 and invest it, or like invest it in a stock or put it into retirement. Why didn't you do that and instead took a risk on everything?
So I did do that. I had a lot. So I was just, to preface everything, like, I've been so fortunate. Like, my parents paid for my school. I never had to pay for anything education related. So all the money I got from shoes, I was able to do whatever I want with it.
Yeah.
So over the course of 5 years, like, I'm not paying rent. I'm not paying like a lot of expenses that I should have been paying. Because my parents were there to support me. So I was so privileged in that sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, when I was running the business, I didn't take a dime from my parents. That was also true. So I wasn't stacking I wasn't one of those kids you see like, oh, I made like $2 million in a year. Like, I was probably on average, the best year I did was after tax, like, I probably netted like 60 grand, which is amazing.
That's
in college.
Oh my God.
And I did that over the course of 5 years. So I probably stacked like 10 grand, then 20 grand, then 30, so at the end, when I was 21, I'd maxed out retirement stuff. I put a lot of money into stocks. And then my dad was like, why don't you try real estate? So I was like, why not? So I talked to a bunch of realtors in the Northern Virginia area, and it's like super wealthy up there. So I was like, oh, I can't buy anything up here. Got super lucky to get connected with a realtor next to UVA. He went to UVA, kind of became like a life real estate mentor to me. He's 30 years old. He was 30 years old at the time. I was 20. And we went around looking for properties, and he basically just handheld me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been, you'll see like as a theme, it's just like, I find someone who's done what I want to do, and they just kind of like guide me through the whole process rather than me just making the mistakes on my own. And he handheld me through a bunch of house tours, stuff that I thought was good, but he saw things that I didn't see. He was like, bro, this is not good at all. And then we eventually came to the house that I closed on my 21st birthday, and I still have it to this day.
You said you made like your best year was about 60 grand after taxes and everything. To put that into perspective, I made $55,000 right out of college, and this is gross pay. That means I was not taking home that amount. This is just the amount that was my salary. And so when I first saw that coming in, I think I was doing a per paycheck right around that 1,700, 1,800 mark per paycheck. So every 2 weeks. And when I first saw that, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that this is life. This is the next 40 years. I'm supposed to like, this is what I'm supposed to be looking at. I was very narrow-minded at the time because I didn't think $100,000 was in my point of view at the time. But when I saw that, I realized that I need to do something else. So the side business picked up, all those things happened. And I kind of want to go, that's where I want to bring in your shoe business. How did that start?
Yeah, so it started, I watched a Gary Vee video in high school, and because I was super bored, it was COVID, school was completely online, I had nothing to do, and I was like, just watch a Gary Vee video. And I feel like I've been one of those guys where I see something I like, I'm gonna just do it.
Yeah.
So I started selling stuff around the house first that we didn't need. I think there's a stat, like every household on average has like $3,000 to $5,000 worth of stuff that you don't even use. So I sold all that stuff, like furniture, old electronics, old clothes, old shoes that I had, used that money. I had just gotten my license. I was a junior in high school when I first started, and started going to thrift stores, and also department stores like Burlington, Ross, and Marshalls. And I was buying shoes and I was just flipping them. So I just started doing that at scale.
So like the biggest thing with flipping things, I think I realize is that people don't see it as actual making money because they're like, I have to buy it and then I have to sell it for more. So a lot of people that I've heard is like, I'm not actually going to make a profit. How did you know that this was going to work?
Yeah. So on eBay, you have these things called sold comps. So what I did when I went to thrift stores was you have like a size tag on every shoe, right? Like Adidas, Nike, they have these size tags, and they have this thing called a style code. And you can look that up on eBay, and you can see in the store before you buy how many listings of that shoe there are, how many have sold in the last 90 days, and for what amount. So you can start doing the math like in the store. I got to a point where like I already knew in my brain like the math behind everything. But for like the first like 6 months, I was looking up every shoe, like what's good, what's bad, what brands are good. And then I got to a point where I didn't even need to do that. I just knew it off the top of my head. And that's what made me like so much faster at every store, just sourcing. Like I just look at a shoe on a rack, just make sure it's not like in bad condition, and I'd pick it up like this.
Were you always into shoes? Or did you, like, how did this even come to be?
I'm still not even into shoes, like in terms of like wearing it myself. Like I love shoes as like a product and like a business. And one day, like the worst financial decision you can make is to open a sneaker store. But one day I want to have enough money to where I can open a sneaker store and like take the loss every year. That's like one of my dreams, is to open a sneaker store. But I know a lot of guys who have opened sneaker stores who have now gone out of business. But I do love shoes as like an industry and as a business. But myself, like I don't really care like what I wear on my feet.
Speaking of dreams, do you think this was a dream? Like, was this always the goal? Like in college, like walk me through your mindset while you were going through college. Walk me through the major that you were doing. Were you motivated by it? Why you were doing it? And then when you were going to get out of college, what was your plan versus what is going on now?
Well, you had reconnected with Renzo, right? And he pitched this to you. And I guess also just to add on to that, how soon were you like, okay, this is actually feasible? Like, I want to do this.
So this was never the dream. Like I went to school. I was studying finance and IT, and I thought I was gonna be in a finance job. And I got the internship in Dallas. And my plan was to go to Dallas and have the shoes still on the side. And I didn't really know exactly what my plan was, but I wanted to stack like so much money. And eventually, I think I wanted to do like long-term real estate investing. So I wanted to get like a bunch of properties under contract and like have them as like little oil wells that like make like a little bit of money every single year in cash. But then eventually like they'll appreciate so much to where like I'll have like, I like playing like the net worth game instead of like cash game, right?
Yeah.
That was my plan. And then I interned in Dallas. I worked with great people. Like everything outside of what I'm about to explain in the job was amazing. Like worked with amazing people, made friends that I'm still close with to this day. Like I visited them all in New York when they were training. Loved the city of Dallas. Like, love Texas. The food was amazing. It was so good. But the job itself, like I didn't do much.
Yeah.
I was like, felt like I didn't really know what I was doing every single day. And I didn't really want to come back to that. But I signed the return offer and I was like, I probably will come back because at least if I'm not doing much, I'll have more time to pick up. Maybe the side hustle can become the main hustle. I'm not exactly sure, but I knew I like had a good paycheck. I would have had a good paycheck from the job plus side hustle. Like I would have been stacking a lot of money. Plus like maybe get like another investment property. I don't know what I would have done. But then I went to Austin while I was in Dallas. Hadn't talked to Renzo in maybe 3 or 4 years because we played high school tennis together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's a grade above me. So he graduated. I graduated. He went to Virginia Tech. I went to UVA. Didn't talk to him for 3 years. And then I went to Austin to visit my best friend. And I threw up a story on my personal Instagram. I was like, I'm in Austin just like with my friends. And Renzo was like, dude, I'm in the city. Why don't we meet up?
Mm-hmm.
And he just pulled up on me one night on 6th Street, like at the bars. We reconnected. And I actually introduced Renzo to my best friend, and they became really close in Austin because like they didn't know many people in the city. So they were really close. And I visited Austin again after my internship, and Austin's my favorite city in America. But Renzo at the time was working at a real estate development firm, and he was like obsessed. Like he was like, dude, like we need to develop land. And at the he was like showing me financial models. I'm like, I don't know what you're on. Like,
Yeah.
you're crazy.
We're just at the bars. What's happening?
Yeah, literally, like he was like talking about it at bars. Like I'm like, dude, like I'm in real estate. Like I have money, like I have a good amount of money saved up. I think I'm just gonna buy another investment property or do a fix and flip. Went back to UVA. I tried to do a fix and flip with my roommate. It fell through on the last day. We were about to close on a property. It fell through on the last day. Super bummed out. Then next month, November 2024, Renzo calls me and he's like, dude, I have a piece of land, like this X land, here's the vision. And in pretty much like 5 minutes, I was convinced because we were able to get this land under contract in a contingency. And what that means is that we could study the land. At first it was 21 days. We extended it to 60, but in that 60 period window, we could back out for any reason.
Okay.
So at a minimum, I was like, damn, I could learn for 60 days and just back out for any reason. No money penalty, no any penalty. So I was like, why not? It'll be a good experience. So we got it under contract. And there were times when I was like, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. But here we are now.
That is, and that's not even that long ago. That's not even a year.
Not even a year.
Hi, everybody. We're back. This is a little bit of a different spot. We had some construction that was happening, so we had to switch it up a little bit. So we're going to go back to exactly where we were, which is, tell me more about like the vision of how you proposed this property or saw the vision of the property itself.
So it was all Renzo's vision. We came to the land last November. It was winter, bunch of dead trees, no leaves, no greenery like we see right now. And he saw something that I didn't. I think a lot of the times the reality is like there is a talent to things. Like, yes, people need to work. I work very hard. Renzo works very hard. Like you got to work very hard. But Renzo just has this talent to where like he saw the land and he was even trying to pitch the vision to me. Like, this is what it's going to look like. This is what I think it's going to look like. And I couldn't even fully understand what he was saying. And I was a beginner too. So like I couldn't expect myself to visualize it. But from what you guys see now, like I'll show you guys videos after this. Like it was literally, it was ugly. Just keep it real, right? Like it was just ugly. There's a reason it was on Zillow for 200 plus days. I just don't think anyone saw what type of art could be created with this. And only Renzo was able to see that. So the vision was inspired by another property called Live Oak Lake in Waco, Texas. but that was a completely different layout that had a lake, and Renzo thought he took aspects of that and put it into the vision for what we have in Virginia. So it's not my vision, it's his.
The vision part of it, when it comes to having a specific idea in your brain, I think something Hallie always tells me is like, how did you know what this was going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
Hallie told me once about the editing process.
Mm-hmm.
Like she always tells me that I just can edit out of nowhere.
Like you can just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what you do though. You're not afraid to just do it. I've tried to make YouTube videos. I do make YouTube videos. I don't make them well. He just goes for it and does it. And I feel like that's the kind of spirit that you have to have as an entrepreneur, is just going for it and being able to take those risks, because not everybody has that mindset. Not everybody's built to take risks.
I think people ask too many questions sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel like you had everything answered before starting this?
It's a complete opposite. Like I feel like I've always been the person that like does it and then asks the questions after. I think that's like the best way to learn. That's like what I learned. I learned that lesson early on. Like I learned how to run the shoe business just because I did it and I was like not good at it for 6 months, and then I got good at it. Same thing with content. Like I put the phone on a tripod and I started recording. And like for someone who's starting out, like that's where a talent thing comes in, where I was like, I was better than most when I first started out. But then it's also like a lot of work and pattern recognition. Like you're talking about Suketu's like editing, right? Like it's 10 years of pattern recognition plus the talent, which makes it so good.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if I can stack like 4 or 5 years of the talent plus the pattern recognition, I don't know if there's anyone that'll be able to do it better.
I always like tell people that just like do it. Like that's the main thing.
You
like,
have
once
to.
you just do it, everyone's so concerned about having the answers beforehand. For example, us quitting our jobs. I don't know how I was going to pay my bills next month, but I knew that we'd figure it out somehow. I think that's just the faith that you have to have in yourself.
You definitely have to have a sense of confidence, which now knowing you and spending time with your family, it seems like you've always had that. And so you're just like, I'm just going to do it. Like I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't ask too many questions up front. You have to be okay with not fully being okay and having some uncertainty. And I wanted to ask too, how do you feel like the experience with your shoe business really tied in and prepared you for this?
I think it was a really good and a bad thing, where I was 21. I bought a house, not like probably top 1%. It made me like ultra confident to where I thought I could do anything, like literally, and like for good or for bad, right? Like I went into, even with content now, like the way it's blown up, I genuinely don't think this could fail. Like this could really fail. Yeah. I told you guys we have more permits to pass. Like there's a lot of things up in the air, but like it's the content and the shoes and then buying the house, like gave me so much confidence to where like I look almost like in an arrogant way, which is like very negative actually, to where like I look at things now and I'm like, I can do that. I can do it. I can do it better than them. Where it's like, that's a great thing, to where like me and Renzo, we were just like, okay, you know what? Like most people, like they study the land for this. Like they don't even close on the land. They do their due diligence. We just jumped into it 21 days. And then we extended it to 60. We're just jumping into it. And then we have another property we want to go after, 40 acres. We're just like, offer. We just put the offer in. We put it in yesterday. We're just like, screw it. Why don't we just put in the offer? What's going to happen? Mm-hmm. And it hasn't hurt me yet, but I have seen it hurt other people, where it's to say, just go in, bankruptcy. But for me, like I feel like I've also gotten very lucky, but also very blessed, where it's like, it's worked out this way to where now I have a following on social media and I've been able to connect with people like you guys, and I get to build this cabin like with my friend.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's brought me a lot of positive things, but I need to like stay grounded and be like, my mom tells me this a lot, where I like come home and be like, sometimes I'll just say like, man, like this life that I'm living is so much fun. I love it so much. I haven't made $1 yet, but I feel like I feel like my trajectory is like going sky high. And my mom's like, chill. Just like,
yeah,
you can think that way, but it could all come crashing down.
I think there is a certain thing about over expectations, right? Whenever we started doing this, we had to have the mindset of we're definitely not making as much as we're going to be making working a corporate 9 to 5. But when you lower your expectations to like, okay, this is a long game, and a lot of people aren't willing to play the long game, that's when you start to see those benefits later on down the road. I like that you brought up your mom saying that to you, because I want to understand where your mindset comes behind all of these things. We've already gotten a chance to talk to your dad, so we kind of see a little bit of it, but who or what was the one driving factor in terms of some of the decisions that you've made in your life, like not taking a return offer at JPMorgan when you could have had your whole life set for you? You could have gotten health insurance. You could have gotten your 401k benefits. You could have gotten all these things that everyone raves about, would die for. But then you're like, no, I'm just going to do this and make $0 a year. I'm going to play the long game. Hopefully it works. Might not, but hopefully it does. I want to understand like who brought you to that point.
Again, I think it comes down to like, also maybe it's just a personality thing too, where it's just like, we're talking about the long game, right? I feel like I just naturally have always had the patience. Like I knew, like for some reason in my head, I just knew when I started the shoe selling thing in high school, like I knew I would just do it steadily for like 4 to 5 years. And then it would lead to something else. I didn't know what it would lead to, but I was willing to put in work and like see it through like 5 years later, which at 17, like most people could not like visualize stacking, like doing something for 5 years at that point and like seeing something come through. But then in terms of who, like I say this like to a lot of people, like my parents don't support me, like they believe in me. And there's a huge difference. I have a lot of supporters online and I love every single one of them, like thousands of supporters. But supporters are people that I view as like people like who come to the games and watch them, right? Like, but people like my parents, like you saw them, right? Like they believe in me, which means like they have rearranged their lives. Like when I wanted to play high level tennis, like my dad put me in like the best tennis academy. When I want to play basketball, like my dad was driving me to the AAU games. When I wanted to sell shoes on eBay, my dad bought me my first light box to sell shoes and photograph them. When I wanted to buy my investment property, my dad guaranteed the loan so I could get the loan because I wasn't going to get approved on self-employed income, even though my credit score was good. And when I went to my dad, I was like, yo, Renzo just brought me this like study period stuff. He didn't even listen to me. He was just like, do it. I was like, what you mean? Like, give me some like assurance on like, give me some like logical counter argument as to why I shouldn't do it. So then I can tell you why I should do it. He's like, no, just do it.
Did you ever expect them to question you on any part of it? Because honestly, now that we're self-employed, we've had so many people question us and doubt us and not either support us or believe in us. So we've had a little bit of both. And that's so amazing to hear. But it makes sense. I've met your parents and they totally believe in you. Absolutely, without a doubt. And I can see that through and through. And they know that you have a vision and they trust that you're going to carry it through. And I think from the breadcrumb story that we heard from your dad, right? Like he's always believed in you. So I don't think anything like that has ever changed. I feel like that's always been a constant. But has anyone ever doubted you or questioned, like, why are you doing this? Like, this is crazy.
I don't think no one in my close circle has ever doubted me, I feel like, which is why, like, so my friend that just came, I have like 6 more of those friends. Like we're all best friends. When I first started posting on social media, I don't know if you guys had the same thing. Like I always thought, especially since I was in college, I was like, this is like the most judgmental environment in the world, I think, like college and high school.
Oh, totally.
And I'm like, I'm about to post a video. Dude, my friends like ran up the comments on to this day from post 1 to post whatever I'm at now, like 200 something. Him especially has commented on every single post.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe I have friends. I genuinely like, I can't understand. Like I'm so lucky. It's crazy to think that like I was talking about you guys yesterday. I get no hate. I don't I could get 1 hate comment a month.
Yeah.
And my comments get ran up every single time I post. Like hundreds of comments. And I get probably one hate comment out of 5,000 a month.
What do you think the long game with social media is?
I don't know. So you want to play long games, but I don't have long-term goals anymore because with social media, things change so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like my first post was on August 30th, 2024. I was just posting about shoes. I did that for 3 months. I think I got to like 10 or 15K with shoes. Then Renzo brings me this land deal. And then, cause I told you, right? I thought that I would go work the job, have the side income, stack a lot of money, and then probably have like a bunch of long-term real estate properties. That's what I thought kind of what I was going to do, I think. Renzo brought me this deal. I never thought I'd be doing real estate development. That's like ridiculous. Like no 22-year-old is doing that. And that only happened because, and we've exploded in this ways because of social media. And like, I have people like coming to me now. I'm about to drop a video today on how this guy who founded this company called Spartan Races. It's one of the biggest racing companies in the world. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's kind of like Iron Man, but like more extreme.
Oh,
really?
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dude's like gotta be, I don't know how much he's worth, but he's gotta be worth at least 9 figures, right? He brought me and Renzo out to his Vermont farm. He owns 750 acres in Vermont. We went out there for 3 days and he was like, I want you guys to take over the farm. All of it. And it has an existing wedding business that's losing money, but if you break it even, you can build your next Royal Oak here fully funded. And we were like, oh my God. But we ended up turning it. I'm in the position where I can turn that down now because we were like, wedding event venue business. It's a totally new business. Like we already have a role going here. Like, I don't know if I want to come all the way out to Vermont to do this. It'd be tough for me, but who knows what opportunity is going to be brought my way next. Now we have investors telling us we want you to build the best resort in America. Like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I don't have like these long-term trajectory goals, just like really short-term now.
What I've noticed with a lot of people on social media now is like, when you're able to tell a good story, that's when your life kind of changes a little bit. Just like Casey Neistat. I remember when he first started on YouTube, he was uploading the daily videos and he was telling a story every single day about his life. He wasn't just making videos, like he was making sure that there was a point to him, whether it be about his wife, whether it be about running or something that he just got in the package, like from UPS. And it started to become, there started to be characters within the creation that they were doing, just like you. Your character is like the Airbnb, right? Like this is like, it's developing through time. So every time you upload, it's not like the same, even though they're similar videos, it's not the same because the character is changing. So you want to know how it's developing. Mm-hmm. And because of that, your storytelling is a skill set that a lot of people want. Like they're going to pay you as much as they want to, or as much as they can, to be able to get you under their belt, to be able to have that talent. It's not even about the real estate at this point. Now it's like, we need the character. We want you to build that and like create what you're doing on social media for them, So I think in the future, there's going to be a lot more opportunity for you when it comes to who's going to be reaching out, and all of the people who are going to be reaching out, they're going to want a piece of that talent that you're building right now.
Well, yeah, content creation is the way of the world, and it's evolving every day, like we talked about. And what you're doing is so important to really showcase. I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday because you were like, oh, I got to get into long form. But even every single time you post, like you said, people are so interested because I've never seen anything like this before. Like I had seen some of your videos, and I remember when Suketu first came up to me and talked about you for the first time, he was like, oh my God, like nobody's doing this. Look at this. Like, let's watch a bunch of videos together. And immediately I was like hooked because you don't even have to start at the very beginning. Like you can go back and watch all of them, but you are so thorough and so good at explaining and building that storyline and that character base from every video that you post. Like the hooks that you have, how you walk around and you show everything. Like I'm a very visual person as well, and I can tell in your editing and everything that you film, like it's very intentional. And that's such a good way to draw people in and to get people to want to work with you in any capacity. So I just really respect all of it. I know that a lot of work goes into it, along with obviously the business aspect. Social media is a lot and it's a job, and you've fully turned it into that and been able to showcase so many amazing parts, which I know so many people are so excited about this now.
Mm-hmm. But do you ever question it? Do you ever question what you're doing?
Not anymore, no. When I think it solidified it for me when so we based this project off 7 cabins in Waco, Texas called Live Oak Lake. Everyone should look it up on Instagram. It's basically the same cabin that we're building here. 7 cabins, Waco, Texas, lakefront. And the guy who built it, Isaac French, which is crazy. Like I talk to him now. Like he like paved the way for like what I'm doing now. He's a super young guy too. He's like, I think he's 28 or 27 now, but when he was building, like he was 24, which is crazy. And the way his story is amazing. And I'm going to champion him the whole way because like he's literally the reason why me and Renzo did this. He went on a podcast. He built for 2.1. He sold for 7 million in 18 months after he launched. And he talked to the private equity company that bought him out. And they said it themselves that, so the guy wasn't on Airbnb. He was only through direct booking. And it was just through social media. He had built up the Live Oak Lake account. And they were booking directly through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And the private equity company told him that the real estate asset, the physical cabins themselves were worth $5 million. But the social media funnel, the KPIs he was hitting, there were companies booking the whole retreat at the same time. There were people booking multiple times in the same year, all through socials. That was worth $2 million. That is a 40% markup because of Instagram videos. Can you believe the time we're living in?
No.
Off a real estate asset, little Instagram videos can increase your value by 40%. So when I saw that, I was like, and I saw I was getting traction on socials, I was like, oh, I'm doubling down. There's no reason why. He just sold. The proof is right there. I don't need to make the proof. It's right there. So I just started doubling down. At first, the goal was, because I didn't know where social media was going. I was just a shoe content creator. And I just started making a couple of videos about development. Got all these outreaches, was going crazy with the numbers. I was still at like 15 or 20K. And then started blowing up. And me and Renzo decided like, dude, this is bringing way too much value for me to put any effort into the construction side. He told me, just focus on making a banger every single day. This construction is my thing. That's my passion. I've been obsessed with it. Let me do that. So that's been our roles now. And it has served us, I think, monumentally well.
What happened when you just like made this you made this Instagram video and then all of a sudden you're at 100K? What was that first feeling? It's like, oh my gosh, people are watching.
I felt it at like 20K. I made a video where I was just like, I just got this land under contract, and it was during my shoe series. And like everyone at my school knew about it. And I was just like, oh, I didn't even think that was that good of a video. I kind of just freestyled it. Like I just put the tripod down and just like, okay, video. But it blew up. And then I made 2 more while I was doing the shoe series, and it was blowing up. And I was like, oh wow, people are really watching this. And they're not doing it, I guess, like I was doing. So the first time I hit a million views on a video, this is when I knew like you can make anything interesting. The first time I hit 1 million views on a video was when I was explaining during our study period that an engineer thought that a septic system couldn't fit on that lot we're building right now. I explained it on a dirty piece of paper. I like dragged it into the camera. I'll show you guys a video after this. I can't believe 1 million people watched this video. But I was like, I drew out the land. I like drew it out with pencil on a dirty piece of paper. And I was like, guys, like the septic system won't fit. And the engineer told us we might have to combine the lots. And I was like pretty visual with the 1 million views. And I was like, this is ridiculous. The story just needs to be good enough. You can make anything interesting. Septic system. Like people's waste is interesting. Like you can make anything interesting.
I think it's interesting because this is something that people just don't know anything about. Like when I see a 21, 22-year-old on social media saying, I just bought a piece of land and now we can't fit a septic system, I was like, what is this kid doing? Like, how does he know like what's happening?
Well, and to that point too, I feel like in the real estate market, you just see a lot of older people. You don't see many 20-year-olds doing it. So I think that's such a fun vibe that you bring to the content piece of it, is that like you'll just be like hanging on stuff, and like I love it. I mean, like it adds so much character, and I think so many people, especially now, everybody on social media wants somebody younger that they're seeing doing these cool things.
So tell me, what's the hardest part right now?
Editing.
Editing?
For sure. I love filming.
Mm-hmm.
I love filming. I love like making the shots visual, and like I see it as art. Like I said, like Renzo has a talent to where he can come on a piece of land and he'll like know if it'll work, and he has a vision for it. I go onto the site and I'm like, oh, this is the video that's going to happen today. And like I'll use the drone, and then I'll have like different visuals, and I'll bring one of my friends out, like Ethan there, and I'll just tell them where to record every single line. I'll script it out in like 10 minutes. Sometimes I don't even have a script. I'll just freeball it. And then I'll know how I'm going to edit it too. But the editing is just time consuming.
Everything on your phone.
Guys, I'm going to look into the camera for this one. I get so many DMs. Where do you record? Where do you edit? What camera do you use? Everything is on this. I record on my phone. I edit on my phone. I drop on my phone. Everything, every single thing I've ever dropped has been on my phone. I just use CapCut. That's it. You don't need a bunch of stuff. You guys were telling me this yesterday, like, and I'm glad you broke this barrier for me, which I already felt like I knew, but you were like, you can get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube off your phone.
Mhm.
You just need to have good enough storytelling, and you just need to be creative enough. Like, you don't need a camera. You don't need a camera. I have a $10 tripod. I have my phone, and then I would invest in a good mic because audio is important. But that's it. I've had my mic since I was like, I paid like $150 for it like almost a year ago. That's all I've invested into content. That's all you need.
It's that talent. I'm just saying.
The crazy thing is, you said like you haven't made $1 off social media yet. Do you expect to have that return on investment through social media or through everything that is being built right now?
It's through everything that comes with it.
Mhm.
This is worth more. Like, meeting you guys is worth more to me than any like brand deal could offer me. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, I still have a lot of money left off from shoes, and I've been spending that to travel to meet all these big creators, because I feel like I said, I feel like I have a talent and I was good at it, but at the same time, like, it was a gold rush. Like, the timing was just perfect. Like, no one was doing it. Now you see a bunch of other people doing it, and like, people are saying like they're copying me, which in reality, like, I was just the first to do it, or one of the first to do it, and like, I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing, and people were already doing cool stuff. They weren't documenting it.
Yeah.
So the network is on my phone. I swear this phone is worth like $500 million. I swear. I'm not even joking. Like, because real estate development, like, the people who have done it well are so rich.
Yeah.
They have so much money. And the one thing, those guys, they can build beautiful stuff. They can build like very profitable stuff. But the one thing they haven't been able to crack is like how to get people to watch their stuff. Because these people are on the internet. They're like old guys, like, have made their money. They're boring, like, respectfully.
You kind of are explaining how Sirhan, Sirhan?
Yeah.
Like, how he's different than every other real estate broker out there because he actually understands the value of social media. That's something that I realized. Like, I like working with people who understand the value of social media. We've helped build brands for people, and something that they don't understand is how much you have to invest into social media, not just money, but time. If you don't have that ability, it's going to be very difficult to actually get anything going. So like the consistency piece, why are you so consistent? How are you so consistent?
It's because of Renzo. Like, if I had to run the business and do content, it'd fail.
Yeah.
Bar none. I can invest I can come out to the site. I can record this pod. I didn't even know Renzo scheduled that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were going to be people here. Renzo scheduled that. Renzo's been scheduling all the construction stuff. Like, that's the only reason I can do this.
And this is something me and Hallie always talk about, is putting your focus into one thing always leads to success. I think we've always tried to do so many things at once. Like, when we were working our jobs, right? And we were always confused, like, oh my gosh, like, now we got to go home, record the pod. And it became like a chore, right? Like, it just like, oh, like, we got to go do this thing because we're tired and all these things. You're kind of going about it in a way that it's like, hey, you, Renzo, focus on this, do it 100%. And then you are focusing on the social media, you do it 100%. And I think because of that, you are showing the amount of success. I think a lot of people try to do so much at once.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people don't realize is how much, to your point, like, how much time this takes and how valuable it is. But I see so many people. I know you guys relate to this, but there's so many people who think you can just come into Instagram and do just like a regular talking head video and then send it to a guy in the Philippines to edit it and then just keep dropping videos. And it's like, bro, stop it. Like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Would you do that in business? Like, would you just buy a business and then be like, hire one person and be like, hey, just like,
Do it.
whatever. Like, come on, bro. Like actually, you need to actually put in effort. So every Instagram reel that you guys have seen, I have watched 100 to 150 times. I spent 3 hours editing. I spent an hour or two to script. I drove out here to the site, which is 1 hour, drove back, which is 1 hour. I had to get one of my friends to come. Like, this takes work. And I don't know, you just can't do it all. And I feel like I learned really early on, like what you were saying, like you got to do one thing. Like when I was doing the shoe business, I was only doing the shoe business.
Yeah.
Like I was not doing well in school.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I think your grades suffered, but something came out of it, right?
When I was playing tennis, I was only playing tennis. When I was playing basketball, I was only playing basketball. Like I feel like I learned that pretty early on. So then when it came to social media, like I'm still plugging in here and there, like with the business. I'm going to be operating the Airbnb like when it's open. But from a social media standpoint, like this is like my number one. Renzo's trying to plug in social media now, like because we're like, if we had 2 figures, like that'd be kind of cool, right? So he comes out here sometimes. I will film on my phone. We'll just freeball the video. I'll edit it for him. He'll drop it on his account. So I think that's why we work so well together, because if you had 2 people with the same skill sets, why do you need each other? We have opposite skill sets. I think that's why we work.
I'm looking at us right now.
Pretty dang good. Me and Hallie are pretty opposite in the way we work too.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely the more structured / like I like the technical side of things, and Hallie's the more fun. She's creative, sometimes she's the one who scripts things, and I think that plays a huge part in success, having 2 different people that work all together. Before we go into like the rapid fire stuff, I have one question, which is, if somebody's trying to do what you're doing, what's like the number one piece of advice that will help anybody who's trying to do something out of the ordinary?
Doesn't it sound so simple? You just literally have to jump into it like head first. Like that's, I've always done that. But I gotta reiterate, like I'm in such a unique position to where like when I was making those jumps, like I had so much support doing it. I genuinely don't know what it feels like to jump into something and have people doubt me. I don't know what that feels like. Like when I was playing tennis, I was playing at a national level, and then I started playing basketball, and my dad was like, okay, fine. And then I didn't even make the varsity team. Like I quit national level tennis to not even be that good of a basketball player. And then after that, I was like, I want to start selling shoes on eBay. My dad was like, all right, here's your light box. I genuinely have never been doubted by like the closest people around me. Maybe, okay, when I started content, maybe here or there, people at UVA were like, dude, what is this kid doing? Every single person in my inner circle was like, this is lit. This is so, and they were commenting on all my posts, giving me so much support.
That's so important, because it just keeps you in a positive feedback loop, and you're like, yeah, I can keep going. I can keep doing this. I have the people closest to me supporting me. Not that I fully need it, but the fact that you do have so much support around you and people that will give you honest feedback and critique you and like help you out along the way is so valuable.
From what you just said, I think your piece of advice is not just jump into it. I think it's surround yourself by people who will not just support you, but believe in you.
Yeah.
That will fuel you forever. I think that was huge, especially like, for example, I always thought my parents would be like, whoa, like don't quit your job. Like that's a terrible idea. But I think they realize like, if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. And then you get stuck in the loop forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's great. I love that advice. I could literally talk about this forever.
It really is the people. Like you met my parents. Like I used to tell my dad, like, please, like, stop. Like, when you go to these parties, like, he just keeps, like, I'm like, we need to be, like, humble. Like, you can't just keep going, like, hey, guys, like, look at my son's Instagram. But then, like, now I just, because I can tell, like, how much joy it brings him, like, him telling you that story. And I'm just like, honestly, like, to have someone believe in me that much and be that proud of me is, like, such a blessing. Look at my friends, too. My friend is on the clock, and he came here to help me film for free. That's ridiculous. Like no one is doing that.
Yeah.
I like genuinely, like I'm very lucky, which is why I feel like a lot of the advice I would give or I could give is just not applicable to most people. Because what I have found is I get a lot of DMs where it's like, how do I make the first jump? How do I make the first jump? And it's just like everyone around them is the opposite of me, where it's like they are doubted and they're not pushed to do this stuff. Whereas I was the complete opposite, where it's like again, I've said it like on broken record. I genuinely have never been doubted by someone close to me. Every single time I do something, it is met with 100% belief, not support. Like belief to where like my friend will leave work. He's on the clock to help me come record a video because he knows. He recorded one, like a lot of my million view videos that I have on Instagram, he recorded. Never asked for a penny from me.
One question that a lot of people are going to have is like, how are you funding yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How can somebody just not have a job? How can somebody take a loan out and just take a big risk like that? Like people just can't comprehend that question. Just like when we told everybody that we were quitting our jobs, they were like, okay, but like how? Like what are you going to do? Like how are you going to buy food the next day? Like I think a lot of times people get confused on that aspect. So maybe add some clarity behind that.
Yeah, like let's get technical about it. So when I graduated, my net worth was probably around 180 grand. So that's split up into, I put 60,000 down payment into a property. That's probably like appreciated like a little bit around like, let's say 65, 70. I don't know how much it is. So I sold shoes for 5 years, and I was telling you, I don't know if I mentioned this on the pod, but my best year after tax, I did 65 grand. And I did it for 5 years. So like I was doing like 10, 20. And then my last year I exploded like 65. So I stacked a lot of money. My parents also paid for my tuition and rent. So I never, when I was at school, I had no expenses. So I was saving every single dollar. And now, so I have a big reserve. Like I said, I have a big reserve from shoes. So we paid for the land in cash. Half of that was bankrolled by me. Half of that was bankrolled by Renzo. A lot of the cash now is bankrolled by me from shoes. Okay, so I live with my parents, so I don't pay rent. I don't pay for food. I'd say that's it. So, okay, yeah, the loan, the financing. So we paid for the land, 37 grand in cash, paid for that in cash. And then we got a construction loan. The construction loan, we got because we went to 10 different banks. We were getting denied a lot, even with having Renzo's parents co-signing on the loan and me trying to put up my house as collateral. Renzo ended up making a really good relationship with a lender. We just had to get Renzo's parents to co-sign on the loan, and we got a construction loan to finance this build. Now through social media, our next big project is going to be fully funded through investors, just like people that believe in us. So we don't have to put in a dollar. We just operate, and that's how we'll fund that. And the way the fund structure will work is we'll probably have a development fee. So that'll be like a full-time fee where like me and Renzo probably make like 70 grand a year, 60 grand for the year just for our work. But most of the money from us will be made of like the equity play. So me and Renzo are 50-50 in Royal Oak Retreat 1. Next one, I don't know what the equity split is because we have investors, but this is a net worth game for me. Like I don't have a lot in comparison to like what I could have in cash. I don't have as much cash as I should have. It's just all into either 401 like retirement, or it's into that investment property, or it's into this, or it's going to be tied up into the new development. So that's like the numbers of like how I'm staying afloat.
I think people get really scared with that, with like taking a chance on it because you don't know where you're going to like pay yourself. I think that's the biggest thing is people are so like used to getting their paychecks every single week or every other week, and they get scared from like not having the
consistency. Yeah,
I think you just got to do it. You just got to do it one time, and then you'll realize like how to cut things out of your life, how to make it work. Because like even though you live at home, even if you live somewhere else, you'd make it work somehow, right? Like we have a mortgage, we got to pay that every single month, but we don't have jobs. We have to be able to feed ourselves every single month, and no matter what, that's going to be at least $500 to $600. So like that's something that you just have to make it work.
Yeah, it's like when your back's up against a wall, right? It's like that drive that you have that you're just like, okay, we're just going to do it. We're just going to make it work no matter what.
Right before you say that, I will say like my back is not against the wall because one thing, it makes it look like I just didn't take a job when I was 22, but in reality, I was kind of working a job for 5 years since I was 17. So one thing I would say is like, I don't hate on the 9 to 5 because you can stack up bread when you're 25 and then be aggressive. Mm-hmm. Like the only reason I could be aggressive is because I worked a job. I had a shoe business. I could be aggressive with money. If I didn't have money, I couldn't do this. Like you got to pay to play.
I watched a podcast with Jay Shetty, and he explained how if you can fund your side business with your 9 to 5, it's going to be 10 times more likely to succeed than if you quit your 9 to 5 to start a side business.
Yes, I 100% agree.
And I think a lot of people jump the gun on doing that. For example, like we started our Espatel production stuff in 2017 as a side business, and then we kept it going for while we were working our jobs for 5 years before we decided, hey, we might be able to just do this ourselves and that's it. But we had enough cash in our backlog to be able to be like, okay, at least try 1 year. Mm-hmm. So anybody out there, if you want to try it, have the cash that you need available. We got rapid fire left. That's it. That's all we got left. Okay, are you ready? Okay, this is gonna be real quick. Chai or coffee?
Coffee. I've never had chai before.
That's insane. I'm so sorry that we haven't provided you with chai. That will change at some point. Maybe you'll come to Indy. Self-employed or corporate life?
Self-employed.
Nice. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Favorite cuisine to eat?
Mexican.
Ooh. UVA memory you'll never forget.
Oh, there's too many. UVA memory I'll never forget. I think graduation.
Okay, that's good.
Graduation for sure.
It was so special, everything coming together.
It was, yeah. And at that point, like I was peaking like at all points, like or like I was like really on. I just hit like 100K on Instagram. Like we had just started breaking ground on our project. Like it was just everything was coming together. Like, and then graduation hit, and my whole family was there. Like my grandma was there, my grandma's sister was there. I met my brother's girlfriend for the first time. Like that graduation was amazing.
Favorite sneaker brand?
Jordan.
Save or spend?
Spend.
Spend. Okay. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
That's a great question. Gratitude.
Security or freedom?
Freedom.
Who inspires you the most?
My dad.
I love it. Rajan, thank you so much for being on Half Past Chai. This was so fun. I could literally talk to you forever.
I think we could do it. We could do a 4-hour podcast.
This was amazing. Hallie, how'd you think it went?
Oh my gosh, this was so great. Even the shift of locations too. We're still on the property. Like this was phenomenal.
We ad-libbed on the fly. This is how we do the videos. We ad-lib on the fly.
Yeah, you gotta adapt. And I think too, I mean, it was so special. Obviously the first half you guys saw the Airbnb and the vision. It's gonna be finished very soon. I'm looking forward personally. I want to come back and see it once it's all said and done, and it's going to look amazing. But as far as the episode, I think this was phenomenal. And I think it was so good that obviously people see so much of you on social media, but I think this is a lot deeper of a way, whether it be people asking through your DMs, all these questions that you kind of answered it. You set the record straight on, you record on your phone. Yeah. So I think this was great. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
You. Half Past Crew, we love you. We thank you for your support. And as always, we'll see you next Monday at Half Past Chai.
So
dude, this was
good.
Awesome.
Dude.
That was so lit.
This was nuts. This was such a good spot.
Dude, I know.
It was quiet. It was perfect.
No
the
sun.
weather was
so good.
It was so good. Oh, this is so good.